are some frequently asked questions that the New York City Urban Project often gets about ministry in the street. What do I do if I see someone sleeping? Remember to love your neighbor as yourself. If you were sleeping, would you want someone to scare you to wake you up? Probably not. As a general rule, if someone is sleeping in a public place, do not wake them up. It is difficult to find restful places to sleep on the streets, and this may be the only sleep they have for a long time. Also, it is not generally wise to leave food or resources for this sleeping person. We want to help the people we serve as best we can, but resources left beside them may draw unwanted attention. A new pair of socks or an apple might attract unwanted attention from other people who also may then decide to steal more of their belongings, such as their wallet, their personal ID, or other personal items. Instead, feel free to take some time and pray for this person as you move on. If the person happens to wake up while you are near them, feel free to approach them. What do I do if someone is passed out and not breathing? Feel free to softly say, "Excuse me, excuse me." If he or she does not wake up, take a look at your surroundings. Do you see empty bottles or cans that could be alcohol or the remnants of drug use? If so, this may be a result of intoxication or overdose. If you notice that it's a particularly cold night and you see that his or her chest is not rising, it is best to call 911. If they were only passed out or sleeping, then we are glad they are still alive. If they are suffering from hypothermia, an overdose, stroke, or heart attack, then you just saved a life. Always call 911 immediately if you think someone you see on the street may be passed out or in need of medical attention. Do not feel like you are making a scene or inconveniencing someone because you may be saving someone's life. What do I do if I see a group of people in need? If you see a group of people in need and you are not alone or in a small group, we would encourage you to not approach them, especially if the area is not well lit or if there are no other people around. Homeless people often lack community, so if they are interacting with one another, feel free to pray for them as you move on. If there is a small group of people who might be in need in a well-lit area with lots of foot traffic around you, you may feel more confident to approach them. But remember, God is bigger than us and will provide for His people. Their provision is not up to us, it's God's responsibility. How do I know who is homeless? We do not encourage you to walk up to people who have more than a normal amount of bags with them and ask, "Are you homeless?" However, we do suggest to look for the following signs: irregular hygiene, all belongings are with them, audible self-talk, panhandling. Some more subtle signs, particularly in urban areas, are if you see someone sleeping outside, please refer to question 1, or if he/she appears not to have a destination on a train platform or at a bus stop. Now we're going to cover some safety guidelines to keep safe on the streets as you go out and do ministry. Here are some safety guidelines that the New York City Urban Project uses to keep safe on the streets as they go out and do ministry. When serving with a group, do not wander off alone. Jesus sent out His disciples 2 by 2. In the same way, we always try to stay with at least one other person while we serve. While doing Feed a Few on your own, if you are alone in a bright and public area, you may feel called to reach out to someone. In these cases, please use wisdom and never go anywhere with anyone you are serving. If the situation makes you feel uncomfortable, feel free to bless the person you are talking to and leave. Do not give out money. We suggest that you do not give out money to the people we meet on the street. Money is something we cannot control, but food and resources can help with short-term and long-term needs. Additionally, we do not want to see those on the streets as people who just want money or for them to see us as people who have money, but instead for us to see each other as children of God. Our goal is not charity, giving out money and resources to alleviate our guilt or make ourselves feel good. It is compassion and relationship by engaging and interacting with people on the street. Please do feel free to buy a meal or groceries for someone or to share a meal in a public place. God calls us to relationships, not just transactions. Use wisdom with physical touch. Physical touch can be a powerful reinforcement of compassion. However, in this case, please exercise caution, especially if you are female. A handshake or a touch on the shoulder will be sufficient. In some cases, you may feel like a hug is necessary, and that may be warranted. But please use wisdom and discernment in these interactions. Be mindful of your position while serving. Do not have your back against a wall, and maintain a safe distance. If you ever feel uncomfortable, feel free to say, "God bless you and have a good day," and walk away. Do not give out personal information. Please do not share your phone number or address. Your resources that you will give to someone in need should already include information on resources for food, shelter, medical attention, and clothing. Professional full-time organizations are much more equipped to help those you see on the streets than we are. In New York City, organizations like the Bowery Mission, New York City Rescue Mission, and others are great resources. Connect them and trust the body of Christ to care for those in need. If someone is angry, calmly walk away. We do not argue with those we serve. If someone just wants to pick a fight, there are thousands of others who are hungry. As mentioned earlier, our goal is to bear witness to the love of Christ, not push someone towards our frame of mind. As Tom Basil at the Bowery Mission says, we work with people who have exaggerated needs. So many of them have anger toward a variety of things, and as soon as someone will listen, out it comes. Thus, when this situation arises, remember God is the Messiah. He saves, and He has already won. God will take care of them because He is Jehovah Jireh. Remember them in prayer and move on in freedom. Dress appropriately, modestly, warmly, no expensive jewelry. The people we serve are vulnerable and from a variety of backgrounds, which could lead to inappropriate behavior or trigger responses we do not desire. Therefore, we need to be mindful of how our clothing, posture, and body language may be interpreted. Thus, when serving, dress modestly so that your attire might not be a hindrance to the work that God is calling you to do. We want to be accessible to those in need, have our focus to be on them, and their focus to be on God. These are some frequently asked questions and safety tips about doing ministry with those with exaggerated needs. Let's recap. If you see someone sleeping, please keep walking. You may pray for them as you go. If you see someone passed out, not breathing, and/or not responsive, please call 911. If you see a group of people on the street, use your wisdom as to whether or not to approach them. If you are alone, please do not approach them. Look for signs such as panhandling, irregular hygiene, or self-talk to identify whether someone is homeless or not. In this video, you have also heard some safety tips. Let's recap them. Do not go out alone. When serving in a group, do not wander off. Do not give out money. Use wisdom with physical touch. Do not give out your personal information. If someone is angry, calmly walk away. Dress appropriately, modest, warm, and no expensive or flashy jewelry. If you have any other questions, please take a look at some of our other videos or visit nycurbanproject.com.